Alright. I think we're about ready, despite the fact that NVIDIA has insisted that there's a driver update. It's at 100%. It's been at 100% for a while now, so we're gonna ignore it? Yeah? Alright. Moving on. Potion craft. This got recommended to me by my mod Eli, and he sent me a link. I saw the trailer, and immediately I was like, this is a game that I'm gonna sink a whole bunch of stupid time into. So it's basically like one of those little like craft management, micromanagement games, and I love those types of games. There was I can't remember what it's called. It was like Blacksmith Simulator, I believe it was. That was one that you could just buy straight up. It wasn't on Steam or anything, but you just buy it from the developer, or it was free if you want, or you can like donate to them. I ended up donating and buying it because I thought it was cool, and I sunk, I think, like 60 hours into that game without even really realizing it. What up, Maddie? Stop streaming and I'm at work. I'll try, but no promises. No promises. Oh, speaking of which, Maddie, since you're here, my Discord will... I updated my Discord stuff to post whenever you're streaming now, so hopefully people in my Discord can start responding to you. Oh! I also, thank you for showing up and reminding me. I have to give a thanks to Miley W, Aki, Big Daddy Chili, Mr. G, for coming and following me while I was off stream. They came from your stream, so I'm gonna tell you, and you can be all like, hey, here's the thing. No, stop, I'm a lame streamer. Nonsense. Nonsense, Maddie, you're doing great, and I appreciate all your support and all your work. What was I thinking? They're an awesome group of people. I hope. From what I've seen, I agree. You got an awesome chat going on, and I like that. I like good Twitch communities. Like, I've just, large kind of group of friends that you can just like talk to. Love the support. Thank you much again, Maddie. And I'm sorry you're at work, but it's like 8:00 p.m. for me. So, I gotta do what I gotta do. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about Blacksmith Simulator. I sunk like 60 hours into Blacksmith Simulator, and all I did was make swords the whole time. And it wasn't even that complicated. So I love these like craft micromanagement games. They are so much fun. Hi lady, what's going on? What up? So the plan today, I'm not off for another 2.5 hours or so, but I do have to head out. I'm gonna try to hop in again. I should be around. So I will look forward to it, Maddie. Have fun finishing off the last little leg of work. So I got 2 games planned today. 2 games. We're gonna play some of this for a couple hours. And then I'm gonna go play the game Dagon, because it's Spooktober and I need to do spook stuff, because, spook. The problem I'm having with scary games is that, like, I don't know, none of them are really, like, scary. Not a whole lot of replay value. Not much. I'm 3 days away from finishing my mentor roulettes in FF14. Almost got the 2K reward. Nice. I still have yet to play that one. I have had so many people tell me to go play Final Fantasy XIV, and I'm like, MMOs aren't necessarily for me, but I might pick it up and try it. Maybe I'll get a little further along than most MMOs. Who knows? I'll see. I'll figure it out. That might be one I have to like try in my off time. Trial is free, up to HW. Ooh. I like free. I appreciate free. Free is... as long as you tried, that's fine. That's kind of my thought. It's like, so long as I make an effort to at least try the game, then I can, probably gauge it. But anyway, so we're going to play Dagon after this, after a little bit of this, because I need spooky games. And from what I saw, Dagon is a 30-minute, 30 to, about 30 minute to an hour little, maybe not even that long. I don't want to call it a walking simulator because you don't actually walk. It's more like just a visual audiobook kind of situation, just in a game. And I want to play it because H.P. Lovecraft, and I love H.P. Lovecraft. He was one of my big inspirations for writing in horror, and he's one of the biggest influences in horror in general. You ask any of the mainstream big horror people nowadays, and H.P. Lovecraft keeps coming up. So I thought, and I had this cool idea, that we're going to play Dagon, and we will talk about Lovecraft and about the story and about his other works a little bit, because I also did an internship where I got to study and lecture about him several times. So I'm excited about that. Okay, let's get into this thing. I haven't even touched this one yet. I tinkered a little bit with some settings, but not by much. New game. The story begins. You're a novice alchemist, wandering the world in search of your destiny. Cool. After a long journey, you finally found a place to ply your trade. An abandoned house. Oh boy. I guess, sure. You found an old abandoned house on the edge of town. Judging by the alchemy equipment in the garden, the former owner seems to have practiced alchemy. As luck would have it. Apparently a wizard used to live here, but the layer of dust and the condition of the house suggest that it has been empty for a long time. Cool. Shop opening. You decide to turn the house into a potion shop. After several days of cleaning and preparing, the shop is ready for its first customers. Whew. Time to remember your alchemy skills and start this new life in a new town. And this is what I live for. I love these little micromanagement things. Adding ingredients to the cauldron. Potions are made from ingredients. Take 2 terrarias and 2 water blooms from your inventory and throw them in the cauldron. To move ingredients, click and hold the mouse. Drag them into the cauldron and let go. Pay attention to the alchemy map on the laboratory wall. It shows you the path the ingredients create once they are added to the cauldron. I'm assuming that's this thing? So I do that, stirring. I just wiggle. Heating. Now the potion icon is touching the unknown effect. To find out what the effect does, you need to add it to the current potion. To add the effect of the potion, you need to bring the water in the cauldron to a boil. Stands to reason. Use the bellows to blow on the coals and heat the cauldron to the desired temperature. Take the bellows by the handle, continue blowing on the coals until there's an explosion over the cauldron. Explode. Poof. Alright, cool. Finishing a potion. Perfect. You've added a new effect to the potion, healing. To finish making the potion, press finish potion. You got it, boss. Grinding. Okay. So we're getting all the tutorial about all the little individuals. Mortar and pestle are an alchemist's best friend. You can use the mortar and pestle to grind up particularly any ingredients and unlock their potential. This helps you create the same potion using fewer ingredients. Try to create the same potion using just 1 terraria and 1 water bloom. Take terraria from the inventory, place it in the mortar, and grind it up with the pestle until it turns to mush. The more you grind an ingredient, the longer the path that ingredient will make on the alchemy map once it is added to the cauldron. So like this. Pop. Mash, mash, mash. And pop. Stir. Okay. Nope. Heat. Poof. Saving a potion recipe. You made the very same potion, but used half as many ingredients. Sweet. Your first potion attempt won't always be the most optimal, so experiment and perfect it. If you're happy with the potion you made, save it in the recipe book. Then you can make that potion in the future with the click of a button. I don't want to click. I want to make every single one individually. Save the recipe for your current potion. Press save recipe to save it. Saved. Nicely done. You have saved the recipe, now finish making the potion. Did I not finish it? Oh, okay, I just needed to hit finish. Got it. You are the owner of a potion shop, and your task is not only to brew potions, but also to sell them to customers. A customer has arrived. Go to the shop. For moving between rooms, use the navigation buttons at the edge of each room, the WASD keys, or the arrow keys. Go to the shop, click the navigation button on the left, or press the A key, or the left arrow. So, like that? Okay, cool. Offering potions for sale. Every day, people from all over town, and even from other towns, will stop in to buy various magic potions. Must be a nice economy for people to afford magical potions. But sure, your job is to brew potions in the laboratory and sell them to customers. Many potions must be brewed for a specific purpose, but it's still a good idea to keep a few of the most popular potions on hand just in case. Yep, I've played games like this before. If a customer likes a potion, it will be clear from their reaction. I burned my tongue on some hot soup. Now I can't taste a thing, and I'm a brewer. Well, I mean, that sounds like a you problem. I need to be able to check the quality of my product. My tongue is useless now. Do you have a healing tincture? You know what? Sure, here you go. The amount of gold you will receive from selling a potion is shown in the sell button. Click the sell button to sell the potion. You got it. Okay, what's this I'll do? Hold on. Gold is obvious. What's this? Popularity level? Okay. Reputation? Cool. Customer needs this kind of potion. Offer the potion for sale by placing on the scale. It's been ill for some time now. So, okay, so it doesn't immediately just tell me what it wants. That's kind of cool. But recently got even worse. Now he can't even get up. There's a few fever and sweats. Do you have any medicine? Ooh, haggle. To make more money on a potion, you can try haggling. Successful haggling could significantly increase the price of a potion, but unsuccessful haggling could do the opposite. Make it drop. To start, click. Press haggle when the arrow is inside the golden bonus areas to improve the terms of the deal. Hitting the button area tips the scale in your favor, but missing them does the opposite. The scale will also gradually tip out of your favor once haggling begins. Oh. So I do that, and it just... Oh, okay. That's actually kind of cool. That's a really cool mechanic to make that work. Lack of suitable potions. You will often not have a ready-made potion for certain customers. That's okay. You can always go back to the laboratory and make the potion they need. There is no time limit, so you can focus on the recipe. The client will not leave. Oh, that's good. I've played games before where they're just like, they're on a timer and you gotta hurry and it's not gonna work and it's just chaos. Also, I gotta talk about the art style here. This art style is fabulous. What does this person want? Hold on, let me read this person. Mice have infested my hut, even though I have a cat. The cat just lies on the cabinets and watches the mice do whatever they please. I need a vial of rat poison. Oh. Enchanted garden. Okay. Gathering ingredients. Enchanted garden is one of the alchemist's main sources for ingredients. Every day, new ingredients will grow in the garden. Don't forget to pick them from time to time. Click on ingredients to gather them. 1 terraria and 1, what was that? Fireball? Sweet. Go back. Making a poison. Try making a potion yourself. Don't forget to use all the alchemy equipment available. Don't be afraid of failure. You can always try again by pressing the button in the upper left of this window. Okay. So it's almost like, so by looking at how the trail goes, there's almost no reason not to go, because I'm just collecting stuff by doing all of that, yeah? And, yep. Potion of poisoning. See? Alright. This is already pretty clever. Make a few extra. Good reputation. Bedroom. Once the last customer leaves the shop, you can have a rest in your bedroom. It is located above the laboratory. The bedroom to end the day. Oh, look at this. This is cool. This is a really slick little layout here, actually. I'm pretty happy. To end the day, click on the bed and confirm you want to end the day. Tutorial ended, is my assumption. Okay. End of tutorial. Yep, there it was. You've refreshed your alchemy knowledge and familiarized yourself with the alchemy equipment. In the attic next to the bed, you found a few ingredients and a ladle for water. This is your potion shop now. You decide what to do next. Greet customers, chat, sell potions, haggle. Don't forget to gather ingredients from the Enchanted Garden and explore the alchemy map. You got it. So, like, if I do this, like, let's just... Oh, this will reverse that, huh? Interesting. Let's do another one of these then. Potion failed. What failed about that? I don't understand. New stuff. You! What do you want? The wound isn't serious, but I can't lie around for a whole month. I need to get back to work soon. So that was a healing potion, y'all. Some of this. Some of this. Bit of a stir. So, oh, I'm gonna sink so much stupid time into this game. We need to poison them all. Or ours is completely doomed. Poison, you got it, bro. I didn't save the last one, did I? Let me think. It was... haggle. I'm good at haggling. You wanna haggle? No. Had some strange soup for lunch today. No more trouble. Do you want just a healing potion? I'll get you a healing potion, I guess. Like... Mash, 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 mash. Squish, 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 squish. Get this man a healing potion. That's the best I got for gut problems. I'm not even gonna haggle with you. Oh, what do you want? Local herbalist. I gather plants and sell them. What do you got? Oh, there's a whole market for this stuff, huh? Like, okay, so stuff is like... Stuff can be cheaper whatnot. You want to haggle? I got an achievement. And do you sell anything else? No. Buy other things from other merchants? Okay, cool. See ya. Oh man, you're just all here. Strong and fast acting poison. You want poison? I got poison. I should honestly just make like a few of everything, shouldn't I? We're just gonna go ahead and make another one of those. While I'm at it, mash, 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 mash. Stir faster. Fill it all up with water. You want to haggle? Whoops. Well, I failed. Oh, okay, hold on. There's reputation things here. I gotta actually read some of this. I was summoned to deal with an ice elemental tormenting. An ordinary sword is useless against elements. If you can give me a fire potion, I'll coat my blade with it and take that elemental down. Oh, what? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna... It stands to reason that, you know, the fire bell would make sense. Okay, my reputation went back up a little bit. That's good. Command sent me to fight an elemental too, but this one is a fire elemental. He's gotten into the habit of strolling through the wheat fields, blah, blah, blah. Sure. So, I mean, I've gone to the right before, and I ran into a thing and it failed me. So, what do I do? What if I do, like, some of this? Mash, mash, mash. Let's stir for a second. Unlock some stuff. Oh, okay. This looks like it can go in a direction that would not murder me. God damn. Weak. Oh, mana potion. Okay. Not what I was after, but sure. Ooh. I see a potion up there that I can potentially get. Let's just head up in that direction, shall we? If I can. Oh, I went past. I went too far. Okay, that's clever. That's really clever. Now what did I make? A weak potion of light, okay. Hey. You can save recipes so you can autocraft them? Yeah, but who wants to autocraft? I know, I've saved a few of them. You don't have to mash the flowers all the way. Just mash it as far as you need. Yeah. Oh, there's upgrades too? Oh, look at this. This is cool. Okay. So I have stuff I can do. That seems valuable. That seems valuable. We're just gonna dump it all like that. My assumption is that if I run into any of these, it ends. I want to go left a little bit. I want to go left. Well, I need to go up and left. And now left. Oh, that's cool. That's clever. Potion of lightning. You know what? Not what I was after. Again. Based off of this, I'm gonna assume that this is the direction in which potions are. Based on these little lines here. So let's, Wow, I've got through a whole bunch of those. And some of these. Sweet. Okay, so there's a lot that this game is going to offer me. Legendary recipes. That sounds cool. Okay. Okay. What did this man want again? Whoop. What's down? What's this? That's cool. Create a potion of frost. Okay. Okay. Well. I don't know as I can. I don't know that I can. Mash, mash, mash. More of this stuff. Put him up. Uh-oh. Oh, is that a bunny with a gun? I want a rabbit with a gun. We must continue. Aha. And that rabbit just wants to fight. Weak potion of frost. We are not going to save that potion. That was such an inefficient potion. 15. You're going to have to give me better than that. That was a whole lot of work I just put in. 16. Oh boy, because I got so much more than that. Look at that, rabbit. You want to fight. Oh, I love that little animation. Out of bed. Sleep. Slap. Esper, why do you sleep in your bed funny? Why can't you just be a normal cat? Sleepy baby kitty. Except that she just piles her face right into the wall of her little bed. What does this man want? Hold on. He bit me on the palm and flopped back in the water. My hand is all swollen. Oh, so you want a healing potion. Oh, wait. This is new stuff. Whoa. Okay. Oh, these are way new. These are neat. I like how all of them... Do you want to haggle? All that for 1 extra gold. My baby boys all sleep on their back or in the corner of our couch. I mean, also weird. Then again, I don't... Cats are weird. I'll say it. I finished digging up stumps on my field and was planning to burn them to fertilize the soil with ash. But then, as luck would have it, it started raining today and all the stumps got soaked. I need to plow the field this week. Help me out. What? You want fire? I don't know if I saved this one, so hold on. I missed one up. Don't worry, it was a wash. It was all a wash. I have so many cares and worries every day. I wash, cook, shop, and look after the children. I can spend all day on my feet and not sit. You want a health potion? I can get you a health potion. You want a health potion? That's just... Bam, sell. I don't even want to haggle. What do you have? You're a weird looking old grump of mushroom dude. I see new faces in these parts. I'm a local mushroomer. My old dude, you couldn't come up with a better name than Mushroomer? Or Mushroomer? Mushroomer isn't much better. I'm gonna say it. Not much better. Show me what you got. There you go. I'll buy some stuff. How about it? Pop. Oh, my reputation's back up. That's good. A very strange guest came to our hotel. He says he has a great fear of fire and even refuses to use candles. However, he still demands light in his room. Boy, do I have the thing for you. You know what? So, here you go. 3 robbers attacked me yesterday. They wanted my money, but couldn't find any, so they gave me a good beating instead. Another healing potion, huh? You know what? We're gonna get a few of those. Just, here you go. Just, bam. Get out of here. Chapter 1 complete. Good job. You completed the chapter. With each new chapter, new visitors, order types, potion bases, merchants, purchasable items appear. Okay, so there's a whole lot going on. Why would a witch need a potion? You want poison? You know what? You got poison. There you go. No hurt to my reputation for that. I'll take it. Daily bonuses that give experience. So if I get to if I make it by hand, I'll get a bonus or something. Is that kind of my understanding? That seems to be the understanding, yes. Alright, so if I wanted to watch this. So if I use this, and then do one of those hard, go to the right. I'm gonna go get this question mark. I'll also get paid more for better quality potions. I did notice that, the little level thing, isn't it? The closer I get it into this little jar. Seemed to be the case. Well, we're gonna go get this little question mark over here, and I'm gonna... Oh, that was way too much. Whatever, we can just stop when we need to. So when I cross this, I get the bonus. Yay. So if I aim this just right, kind of like that, and then potion of sleep, huh? Save that recipe, because that was dead on. Finish that. There's another one up there. I want to get that one. So if I want to get that one, fix your Discord status. What's wrong with my Discord status? Wait, did my Discord not do it again? Ha! Joke's on you, nerd. It's in there. What up, Jordan? What the hell is this? That's a wiggle line. Potion mixing? Yes. Do it, making some potions, and then later we're gonna play Dagon, and Dagon is neat. I don't have any stuff, so I'm just gonna call it. Go to bed, yes. And eating chocolate. Because I have free chocolate. Was fun stuff. Oh, that. The little purpley thingy. As far as I'm aware. I don't know why it doesn't have me as purple then. Also, you would switch over see purple. Oh, okay. I mean, it also announces it in my Discord. So it announces it in my Discord. I wonder why it doesn't show up as... What's it thing then? That's weird. It should. Or I wonder why it doesn't change my status. That's the weird part. Why does my status not change? Hmm. That's weird. I'll figure it out. I'll look into it after, though. What did I pick up? I picked up stuff. I don't really know what I picked up. Oh, hello. Recently opened. Also an alchemist, but I'm just passing through town. Show me what you got. What's this? I don't have 200. Enchanted paper? Oh my god, I don't have 200. Like, you know. Liquid fire? You know what, my guy? I know how to make liquid fire. Wait for it. You just wait for it. Oh, apparently I did save that fire potion. So, you know what? Bam, here you go. Fire. Sell. I don't need to haggle with you. What do you want? Heal? You want a healing potion? Here you go. Sell. Bam. Reinforce my sword to defeat the scum. I heard Merman flee from the sound of thunder. You know what? I just happened to... Oh, it's right there. Bam. 48. Hot damn. Just sent you 2 more screenshots of Leviticus. Oh, right. I was like, Bible? What? Who needs clothes in this day and age? He needs more. He needs clothes and maybe some singed hair, but I think he's almost done. Again, who needs clothes? In the dialogue, I'm good with that. What do you want? Helps mages recover. Bam, this is what you want, right? Go. Massive angle. Do you want... What do you want? You want poison? I can get you poison. You want poison? There you go. You want poison? Take poison. Get out of here. He needs clothes and maybe some singed hair. Oh yeah, I think I already read that. Again, clothes. You want a health potion. Health potion? Bam, get out of here. So I think with my popularity and my reputation, cost goes up. That's my understanding, y'all. So I can look for these green books and be all like, oh, which one am I gonna make? Let's do this. I'm gonna go beyond the dagger here. Now we want to go left. Like, there's stuff down here I want to explore now. That's a weird looking curve. Or we can go this way, which actually does lead to something, according to the little lines. Whew. About as close as I'm gonna get for right now. Stone skin, cool. Finding stuff, finding stuff. I like finding stuff. There's another one like right there. How do I get to that one really, really easily without going? This is how we get down there really easily. Is there a better straight down? No, that's a funky one too. My goodness. What is this? Finish that. Sure. Create a potion of fast growth. You know, I'm just making. I'm just experimenting. There's somebody over here? No. Okay. There's nobody over here. Oh, I can get one of these. What do these do? You increase your trading skill. The higher your trading skill, the more profitable initial prices are when you buy and sell goods. This affects transactions. Okay. Well, I want this. So. Go to bed. Start a new day. I need more stuff. Create a potion with 2 different effects. Oh, I see. So I can do like that. Move here. And just move it back? Okay. A potion of explosion? Oh, dear lord. What gets me the lowest that's not incredibly expensive? I guess just a bunch of this. Mash, mash, mash. Mash, mash, mash. Mash, 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 mash. All the way down we go. I mean, I don't have to mash it. Didn't have to, but I did it anyway. Slow down. Okay, cool. Gaining stuff. Where's this stupid explosion one that I want? Is it up that way? It's probably up left, isn't it? Man, I don't have anything that really goes up very well. So I can go that way. Wait, is that up? No, that's not up. This is up. Right down to the, as close as I can get it to go right there. And then we go up. Is there one that goes straight up? No? Okay. I did not need to mash. Potion of Explode. Let's get a couple of those. Let's get one of those. I can only make one of those. Sure, why not? Bam. This is all I got. This is what I got. What do you want? I'll take one of those. I don't know what this does. Who are you? What are you selling? Rare gems? Okay, cool. End the dialogue. Get out of here. Is that a thing I can do for here? Yeah. Fire. You want a fire in hearth? Here you go. I don't know if that's a euphemism or not, but she's taking it anyway. Frost potion? How did I make a frost potion again? Where was that? Mash, mash, mash. Hiya! Mash, 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 mash. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. That's about as good as we're gonna get for that. Good enough. There you go. You wanted that? Oh, 16. Come on, my guy. It's more expensive for me to make than that. Health potion. Rub a health potion on it. Yeah, mushrooms. I'll wink back. No, I'm not. Hey, you want to buy some mushrooms? Wink, wink. Winks back. So you gonna buy anything? No. I want to spice with the vegetables with something special. So if you're... So my deer has fewer livestock. If you have any, begging your pardon, you want to kill your friend's livestock? No, get out of here. Oh, okay. Reputation goes up, popularity goes down. Interesting. I want to paint my house. that can make paint glow in the dark? What? Like, maybe this light one? Oh, but I don't have any of the usual stuff to go to the left, do I? Oh, I guess I can use this. $16. Come on, my guy. It cost me more than that. A game like this seems too complex for my smooth brain. Nonsense. Games like this are a blast. Barrel of gunpowder. Gunpowder? Gunpowder. Here you go. Just take the explosion thing, my guy. Get out of here. I mean, it's got a very simplistic complexity to it, if that makes sense. Other times where I could just say, like, you know what, screw off, I'm gonna sleep like 3 days and get a whole bunch of this crap. Oh, I can zoom this out, huh? That would have been super helpful to know about. Okay, so there's a thing all the way up there. This thing does go up. Alright, we need to do a lot of up. Because there's a question mark over there and I want it. Perfect. Look at that. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Bounce potion. Okay. I guess that's cool. Okay, stuff is gonna get expensive fast by my looking. There's one all the way to the right. Do I have anything that goes to the right really efficiently? Not really. That's a cool looking scaled one. This one goes down and to the right in a weird, funky motion. That one does a scoop. You! Show me what you got. Gimme! Haggle! Hey, I saved 21 gold doing that. Here you go. 21 gold, I'll take it. What is this? Gold. Is that how much that dude has? Do you have a shop? No, I don't have a shop. I have a laboratory. Oh, okay. It sounds like that's the kind of pompous attitude I get from people who... No. They don't own a hobby shop. They're... You know, board game enthusiast shop. I don't know what do I don't know. Nerds. Want to brew a beer that will stay cold. You want the frosty thing. Where's the frosty thing? Do I have a frosty thing? There's the frosty thing. How did I get to the frosty thing again? Whoops. Want to grind that. There you go. Give me that money. Give me that money. Okay, so apparently like a level 2, getting the potion almost like dead on increases its popularity. That's cool. You want a healing potion? I got healing potions. Here's a healing potion. Get out of here. I need more poison. I don't think... What was the terms of our deal? No, get out of here. Show me what you got. I'll take one of those because look at the frickin' tangle on that thing. Wanna haggle? I saved 2 whole gold. Yeah. That's super interesting. Living on a map by using ingredients, right? It's like, it's pretty clever. Oh, what do you want? A glowing potion? I can make glowing potions. That's that one right there. The more I mash it, the more I move. See if I can't line this up as well as I can. Then up, up, and away. Not as good as I could have ever gotten it, but whatever. Sure, here you go. Gives him an infinitely cold brew, which could be used for perpetual motion, but instead he just drinks it. I would drink it. Someone hands me a cup and says, "Here, this will give you perpetual this turns you into a perpetual motion machine." I drink it. I drink the shit out of it. I need special mushrooms for a certain ritual. They usually appear around this time, but they haven't come out yet. I need them right now. Do I have a potion for that? I do have a potion for that. Bam, here you go. I just so happen to have that. Magic power? Magic power, magic power. You... what? You want fire. You probably want fire, don't you? This man wants fire. I just know it. Oh, I've got 3 points here. Bam. Now, what was I making? Oh yeah, potion. Fire. Ooh, I can't really afford fire. So how about I give this man... frost instead. Just gonna mash that up just because. We're gonna try to line this up as best I can. Now that is worth saving. Save that. Because that's 3. 3! That was perfect. I just really hope I always have the stuff to make that. Create a potion with effective tier 3. So is this man gonna pay, like, bank for it? Oh, he's gonna pay bank for it. Gimme. I love explosions. They are true art form. Oh, you want explodey? Where is explodey? Is it up there? Oh, damn it. Mash. That'll teach it. Later, he takes an incredibly frigid piss. Ooh. That's one of the last things I want to take. I might be in a bit of a pickle here. I don't think there's a way for me to get up there without costing a whole bunch of stuff. Damn and or bother. So I can get to the goal using a whole bunch of different things. I never have to actually use the same thing twice. Which is fine. What did you want? You want explosions? Explosions. So, here you go. Oh, you are a bad guy. Got it. Oh. You know what? Whatever. Bad guy gets the explodey potion. That's on me. That's on me. What do we got? A few things. Cool. What do you want? You're a merchant. Show me what you got. Ooh, you're selling lots of stuff. Oh, you'll actually buy stuff too. Ooh. That's cool. Oh, what's that? I want one of these. I need some more of these. Oh, wait, I want that. I want that. You know what? Ixnay that. Ixnay all of that. What do you have? Oh, do I have anything that you want? Oh, I don't want to sell that. It cost me like 100 to buy that, and I'm only willing to buy it for 15. You son of a bitch. I need 13. Can I get to 13? I don't think I can. Nope, see ya. Healing ointment? Healing ointment. Bam, there you go, my guy. Get out of here. Tiny but very troublesome creature has gotten into my home. I haven't spotted it yet. It sounds like a goblin. But it already ate its way through my pickles and pantry. Yep, that's definitely a goblin. Now every night it eats the porridge. Oh, maybe it's not a goblin. I want to poison the porridge. Finally put an end to the evil spirit. You know what? Sure, here you go. Good luck, goblin. My home lies on one side of the river, but the rest of my village is on the other. Every time I need to go to town, I make a long detour to the bridge. I'm sick of it. I want to try freezing the river. You want to what? As it just so happens, I happen to have this, but it's going to cost you. Bam. Show me what you got, my guy. Holy shit. You are not cheap. See ya. I need another healing potion. God damn, my guy. I wonder if there's something I can make to... Ooh, hold on, look at this. Damn it, I should have gone. You know what? Yes, get rid of it. We're gonna try to make the perfect healing potion. Or at the very least, we're gonna get it to level 2. So that way we start making more money. I am a healer, and I need to restore my magical powers. Can you help me? Oh, magic powers. That's one of these ones. Oh boy. Show me level 3. Bam. Hold on, before we get rid of this one. I don't need this one. Yeah, get rid of that. So we're gonna have another. Save that recipe because bam, it's gonna cost money. Haha. Give me that. Why does my neighbor always have a bounteous harvest and fat cattle, while I can't grow anything? Oh, are you gonna try to kill your neighbor again? Get out of here, nerd. Got really unlucky with my fellow soldiers in the barracks after the lights out. They all started snoring like a swine. Do you have a sleeping potion? I do. Here you go. So, bam. Give me that money. Alright, we're optimizing some of our potions, which is cool. Optimization is fun. Let's get some stuff. Yes. Okay. Can we do the same thing with, what other potions do I have saved? I have this. So I wonder if I can make that better. Can I make that better by simple means, please? I bet I can. Just careful grinding. Oh, cancel that. Get rid of it. Let's try going from the left. And then down. But not all the way down. Watch this. And then if we just do... like right there. Bam. And now, we're optimizing, we're fixing, we're organizing. It's a puzzle. It's a puzzle, but it's a good puzzle. Save that recipe. Finish. Bam. Show me what you got. Holy hell. My guy, you are not cheap on that, but give me that. Is there anything in here that you think is really, really cool? No? Okay, cool. Here you go. I'll pay the 200. I probably should have haggled. Alchemy machine? Back. In the dialogue. Get out of here. Heal your injured finger faster. You know what? I just happen to have the thing. Let's make a couple. It's gonna cost you, though. Bam. There's a house in our village where a witch once lived. She died a long time ago, and no one has lived in the house since. But lately, terrible screams can be heard coming. Now the villagers want to burn the house down, but not with ordinary fire. Oh, dear lord. Healing potions gotta be the most important one? You would think so. Okay, so this person wants fire? Mash, mash, mash. Line it up. Nope, good as we're gonna get. Okay. Well, you know what? In that case, let's get rid of that one. Save that recipe, because level 2 is better than level 1, though it costs a whole extra flour. They'd likely at least work on making it as simple and cheap as possible to get the ingredients. Yeah, you'd think. Hold on, what? Scary sounds started coming from it recently in the well? Okay, my neighbors and I listen to those sounds, and we believe it's a monster trying to climb out of it. So I decided to throw a bomb in the well to kill the monster and collapse the well, in case there's more than one creature down there. What? My guy, I have terrible news for you. I don't think there's enough stuff for me to get you that. I don't know if I... Isn't that the guy that wants to kill his farmer, the neighbor? I don't think so. No, the guy who wants to kill his neighbor didn't have a mustache. Oh, cool, look at this. Okay, so if it's a level 1, it's weak. If it's a level 3, it's strong. If it's a level 2, it's just potion. Oh, we can optimize the health potion to be so much better, can't we? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to get this man's exploding potion. Oops. Forgot to grab the thing. Potion failed. Okay. Well, now I can't afford to help this man. I'm sorry. What would I like today? Well, where were you a few seconds ago when I needed some of these? Oh, I wanted to haggle. Oh well, forgot to haggle. You look like a witcher. Bam, there you go. Let's get my reputation back up a little bit. Grow a small garden on the balcony. I already bought. Arranged all the plants I want, but they'll take forever to grow. I want a nice garden right now. Oh, Jesus Christ. Man, you want that thing all the way down there. You know how much work that's gonna be? Alright, well, we're gonna try. We're gonna try to get this lady what she wants. Good enough. Oh, I forgot I can always add water to move the thing towards the pot again. Oh, I should probably be utilizing that, huh? There you go. It's, I made like no money off that. In order to arrest him, but the sorcerer has an invisibility cloak that will expose him, or we'll never catch him. You, what? What? Do you want like a light one or something? Like, what is this guy asking for exactly? Potion of high visibility, right? Is that what he's after? 'Cause that sounds complicated. And I don't really have anything like that. I have sleep. Well, there's something over here that I haven't gotten to yet. There's something right here I haven't gotten to either. Both of those could be neat. I'm assuming he just wants like a light one or something. Mix. Whoops. I went too far. I wiggled the mouse just a little too much. I don't need this potion. I don't know what you want then. You know what? I can't help you. Get out of here. That's what I thought. One of the, you know, potion of light or something. Nope. That's not what he wanted. Light source. You know what? You're in luck. The other dude didn't want it. Here. How do I make a potion with two different effects? I was about to say, do I have anything that goes crazy to the right? No, not really. I do not really have anything that goes crazy to the left. So you know what? We're gonna pass the day. It's hard being an awesome alchemist like I am. Oh good, lots of stuff. I needed lots of stuff. I have so many of these. What do you want? Show me what you got. You're all crap. Get out of here. How about a potion that makes your dick fly off and then explode? That sounds terrible. It sounds painful too. But if there is a potion for it... This man wants a fire potion. You want a fire potion? I have a level 2 fire. Give me that money. A frost potion for fishing? What? I mean, alright, my guy, but it's gonna cost you. I hope that fish is worth it. Someone would take it. Someone would take it. You just know someone would. Someone would buy that potion. I was in a tussle with bandits, and someone disarmed me, so I had to grab one of their knives in my bare hand. Oh, you wanna... There you go. Get out of here. No, I don't have any... You don't have anything I want. Alright, we're gonna try to... optimize our going to try to optimize our healing potion as best I can. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to only do it up to, like, right here. We're going to try this. Oh, that's terrible. Okay. That didn't work at all. We're just gonna finish that one and take it because I can sell it. Okay, we're directly above it. Man, this is bad too. I want to optimize this, but I'm running out of stuff. This seems obvious. Man. Not good enough. We'll finish it, but not good enough. What did you want again? Infested cellars, you want one of these. Here, get out of here. Make a potion, freeze the fish, make it easier to catch. Make a potion that makes fish explode, perhaps. Let it get back into the school and kaboom. Poor fish. School of fish. Whole year of sushi. I don't know. I mean, is it gonna have residue? Explosion residue. I can words today. I need a potion that will help me win his heart. Oh. Oh. I don't have anything for that. I got reputation for that. Okay. Afraid of thunder and lightning? Very, very frightening thing. There you go. 48 money. Give it to me. What do you want? An accident in the garden. The site is not for the faint of heart. I need the flowers and grass to grow rapidly and help me hide the mess. No? Like, potion of Viagra. Here you go. Exactly. Where on earth am I gonna... Look, there's like obviously one out here. There's obviously one way out here. There's obviously one further up here. Man, those are going to take some time. There's one right there we haven't gotten to. There's obviously one way over here, but you know how hard it is to go to the right? Look at how small this is. We're just gonna do this, because there's not enough to really do. Let's go this way. Alright, we got more stuff. That's good. I would still love to somehow optimize this healing potion. Oh, man, there's got to be almost like a method to that, right? Like, somebody out there has been like, oh, here's the most optimal path, right? Like, I'm sitting here staring at it. I do not want to do that right now. Thank you, computer. That would be terrible. What does this button do? Hold up. What? Oh, can I go to, like, another potion with this now? Potion of healing and fast growth. Is that the Viagra we were looking for? Like, that's got to be what she wanted, right? Or maybe I'm wrong. What do you want? Oh, there's a few of you. Frost potion? You know what, my guy? I happen to have this right here. Bam. It's expensive, though, so hope you're ready for that. It's gonna cost you. Ooh, level 5. Sweet. We want to ambush them in the night, and their leaders. We need something that will light up the area. Oh, crap. Oh, well, I got stuff for it, at least. Mash, 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 mash. Bam. Here you go, level 2. It's gonna cost you. Bam, cost you money. Found a stray puppy outside. When I brought it home, I saw that its back leg was injured. Do you have a healing cream? You know what, ma'am? Here you go. Have a weak sauce one. Because I need to get rid of the weak sauce ones. You know what? Sure, show me what you got. Damn, look at that. I want one of those. That doesn't look like it accomplishes me much of anything. That one at least looks cool. Here. I probably should have haggled. Oh well. See, look. Oh, here's the guy in the red. Here's the farmer who wants to kill his neighbor. This rat bastard. I need a healing potion. I was chasing a thief yesterday. When I tried to grab him, he got me in the hip with the dagger. It's not a mortal wound. Oh, you just want healing. You know what? Here you go. Hey, give me on the scale. Haggle. That's right, pay me. Greetings, today I need acid. Don't let me... I don't have any... You know what? Here? No? You don't want Viagra? Alright. I need your help. A local tavern keeper asked me to come up with a special beer for especially rowdy guests. They drink too much and it costs other customers. Tavern keeper wants to be able to give them some kind of sedative beverage on the house. I mean... And who would drink the booze and bring in the money? Oh, you know what? Fine. There, it's gonna cost you a shit ton of money, my guy. You do not look like a well-to-do person. What do you want? They find the steam quite good for their health. Do you have anything to add a bucket of water to make the steam less healthy? What? No, get out of here. I have too good of a reputation for you. I'm keeping my reputation high. Hopefully people with that better reputation will come hang out more and be all like, give me their custom rather than other people. Alright, not a whole lot of stuff gained that time. Alright, how do we... What have I not optimized yet? I've optimized that. I still haven't optimized this. There's gotta be an, like, penultimate way to make optimized stuff, right? Like, there's gotta be... I'm looking at the thing and I'm like, there's gotta be a penultimate, this is the most optimizable path kind of situation. Now, the question is, how do I get there? So maybe I just want to, like, try to get rid of one of these, or maybe I go all the way out here. I mean, I got more of this, so... Mash, mash, mash. No, back in there, you. Back in the bowl, you nerd. Up a little. Now just hard to the right. First try, level 2, Potion of Rich Harvest. This... Okay, Farmer Dude might like this better. Wizard Man, hi. What have you got? I would love one of these. I would love 2 of those. Haggle. No way in hell am I paying 400 for that shit. Save me some bank. Alright, get out of here. 2 more recipe pages. Sweet. You want a Healy potion? Here's a Healy potion. Get out of here. The owner of the nearby tavern sent me. He needs a potion that can turn water to ice. Oh, boy. Do I have enough stuff to make it? Sure do. You know what? It's even better. It's perfect. It's going to cost you, though. I plant berries in my garden. Now I can't wait for them to grow and bear fruit. Do you have anything that will help them grow faster? Oh, boy. How about that? I mean, that's what she was after, right? Bountiful harvest. Done. Fine, what do you want? What do you have? The hell is that design? I'll take one. There, get out of here. Potion of Grow Faster. Well, kind of was, yeah. Husband recently left me for another woman. I eventually found their love nest. I can't let him be happy with someone else. I want him to feel the fire of my jealousy. I want their home and their feelings to go down in flames. Healing and fast growth? No? Okay. Healing? No. Stone skinned, if you know what I mean? Oh, okay, see ya. I guess she doesn't know what I mean. I need a potion that gives me strength and sends me into a battle frenzy so I can fight like 10 men. Do you have something like that? What? I don't even know what that means. Oh man, this is gonna get complicated at some point. There's that question mark that I still haven't gotten to. There's one all the way up here, apparently. Oh man, these are not cheap. There's one over here. Yeah, that's what I'm... Motion of strength or rampage. It's kind of what I'm thinking, but I'm not really getting anything that does that. What's down here to the left? Like, let's go hard down. Despite the fact that we're gonna run out of the down stuff really, really hard. Alright, I'm all out of down. Luckily, we have a few other things that go down, yes? Down, please? Anything? Whew. Well, now I have to save this one. I have to save this one. Level 3? What did you give me? Potion of Acid. What? That's what was all the way down there? Oh, goddamn, I'm not going to be able to use that for anything. But it's a level 3, so I'm saving it. I don't know what this man wants. Is it this? Is it up here? Is it this weird one? No one's ever asked for a bounce potion, and yet I have it. It's so worthless. Do you want the health and fast growth? No? Okay. Shit. What the hell is this design? It goes straight down, though. So that's awesome. I mean, this thing immediately goes hard down. I don't know what this man wants. What do you want, my thing? Like... that's part of my mana one, isn't it? To go, yeah. To get, like, the perfect one of those. I mean, I'm gonna use it to get up and to the right as best I can again. You want a potion you haven't made before, obviously. Now to just figure out how to get to this one, because I want to get to this one. Whee! I need an up. If I can line this up to be like perfect. Come on, just a little bit more down. So close. So close. Magical vision. Okay. That's probably going to be worthless for that dude, too. Man. How dare you not have something you had no idea about? And, yeah. It's pretty much what it's coming down to. Well, then, is it something all the way up here? I can't get up. I can't go up that hard. Can I? Oh, I guess I can. Alright, up we go. I have a lot of up stuff, so... keep drifting super hard to the left, though. Mix, 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 mix. And nothing else I have really goes up, except this one, which I might use once we get to a certain spot. Ooh. That could be useful, but it's really expensive, so we're not going to go with that. You know what? More of this, then. Go to the right. Now we can... get out of there. There we go. Nope, can't get a level 2. Okay. Good enough. What is this? Potion of invisibility? Okay. Again, not helpful. Not helpful in the least. I don't know what this man wants from me. Look, there's another one right there. God damn it. Seriously, this potion map is massive. You know what? I can't help you. Get out of here. My children can't sleep at night. They're constantly worried about monsters behind the window or under the bed. It doesn't matter how much I try to calm them down. Do you have a sleeping potion for little ones? Oh man, I do not have the stuff to make it. Damn. No I don't. Sorry. Are you well, alchemist? No one has put a curse on you? Haha. I'm quite tired today. Even laughing is a burden, you understand. Sorcery is hard work. That restores my mana, by chance? Oh, that one I might. I cannot. Man alive. No? Sorry. My shop became less popular as a result of all of that. Damn. mean, what do they want? What do they want from me? Bouncy potion to bounce yourself awake, madam? Could have been worth a try. Crazy people are... could be just crazy enough. Dwarf, get out of here. I don't want your stupid things. I came for your help. I made a bet with this guy that I could catch this one fish. I would do it, but it's gonna hurt. I can tear the rod out of your hands or pull a fisherman right into the water. Won't be able to manage without your potions. What? What do you want? Do you want... Nobody wants that. How about a bouncy one? No, you don't want bouncy either? How about this? Fine. Like, I don't know what you want. No, you want to kill people. Get out of here. Better apple harvest. Man, I'm making so many people upset. Oh, Brent. Hey, what's going on? The kitty streamer. Why, thank you. I will not lie, my cat is quite adorable. Right now we're trying to figure out... what is this? Oh, I can change the bottle design? Oh, that's cool. Elephant. Star. Okay, that's kind of cool. I can, like, customize my bottles and everything. How are you, Earl Brent? How was your night going? Wait, what did this person want again? Oh, yeah. You want this. How... ooh. That's a tough one. That was a tricky one. I need all kinds of rights. Mystic Messenger, again, how you doing, good sir? Doing well, Mystic Messenger. How are you? We're playing potion stuff. Actually, we're coming up on the time when I was about to switch games too. We were about to get into a point where we can switch games. Oh, I accidentally hit a button. We're gonna play Dagon and talk about book stuff, because books. I would love to be able to use this thing eventually, but goddamn. Hold on, where'd my frickin'... am I just out of down ingredients? Do I not have a thing that goes down? Oh, you... game. Oh no, there it is. It's like, why is it all the way down there? Fantastic. I love your cat. I love books. I'm down. Fabulous. This is the cat. The cat's easy to introduce. Books are trickier. This is Esper, by the way, in case nobody knows. We're gonna make this potion real fast. So the plan was to play the game off of Steam called Dagon, which is a... it's supposed to be basically like almost a visual audiobook. Whoops. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to put it in here. Oh well. It's a visual audiobook of Dagon by H.P. Lovecraft. Anybody who's never heard of him. Well, you have him to thank for anything and everything horror related in our modern age. Smash, smash, smash. Modern horror is basically a result of him. I'm great trying to watch streams in English to understand at least something. Awesome. Where are you from? If you're trying to get better at the whole English bit. You brought herbs. Oh, good. Funny enough, I need like a lot of this stuff. Anyone who hasn't heard of him has been living under a rock. Yeah. And, well, it's the modern day. There's a... Oh, man, I just ended up having to pay more. Whatever, lady. The thing about Lovecraft is he has definitely sparked a lot of modern controversy. Now, I had the privilege and the fun of getting to do an internship at my university when I was getting my degree. And my internship involved me getting to talk a lot about fantasy literature and horror literature. And I got to do several lectures on H.P. Lovecraft. So my fun thought was I can play this game and I can insert a whole bunch of like really fun knowledge that I have from my time doing that. And it'll be a whole lot of fun. So, what is this, man? Hold on. A bomb. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, bomb guy. Got it. I'm gonna need ups and lefts. Hold on. Let me get through this day. And then we'll talk about... Then we'll probably switch over. Let's get this just right. There we go. Let's get that just right. Let's center that. Good. Oh, if we can nail this, I might save this recipe if I can get a level 3 out of this. Hold on, let's be careful. 2, come on. No! I was so close. I might still save it though, because it's a pain in the ass otherwise. Alright, what did you want? You wanted an explosion. Here's an explosion. Money. Bam. I need an exploding potion. God damn it. Well, it's a good thing I just saved that, I guess. Make one. There you go. Cost you money. Bam. Sleeping potion. I can make that. I have that. I can't make that. Oh, damn it all. Sorry. Can't help you. Get out of here. Oh, wait. I gained reputation for that? Oh. She was in it for not a good reason. Okay. Invisibility. Oh, you want to see through invisibility. Oh, hold on. Bam. Money. Ha. Alright. Let me do this. Does the game autosave when I do this? I think it autosaves. I can make that? Oh, wait, never mind. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, game saved. Perfect. Alright. Alright. We're going to go to this screen for a second. I'm going to quit this. I'm going to get the other game pulled up. Now, I did some audio balancing for this game earlier. It is quite loud. I don't really plan on doing a whole lot of talking while it's doing its thing. If that makes sense. And now we can go back to here. And it should pop up any second. Question mark. Bam. Okay. I don't plan on doing a whole lot of talking while it's doing its thing. I do have some cool like bits and pieces that I can pull up and talk about when it's doing its thing. I haven't actually played through it. I did a little bit of sound testing, and we're going to start it from the beginning. Are we ready? I think I'm ready. Here you go. Yeah, I didn't make it very far before. Alright, Dagon is a faithful, interactive adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's work, focused on story and atmosphere. You will not find difficult choices, action sequences, or inventory management here. Movement is limited to progressing through locations along with the plot. So it's a visual, interactive novel, almost. This should be fun. I
am writing this under an appreciable mental strain, since by tonight I shall be no more.
During the game, you will encounter interactive elements. Some of them will allow you to continue your journey. Others reveal interesting facts about the original short story, its historical background, and the author. See, this is why I wanted to play this. because I love this sort of stuff. Some of the trivia is hidden. In order to find these secrets, focus your eyes and look for the Elder Sign. That is not an Elder Sign, but I'll accept it. You can also access all the found facts later. They will be available in the main menu. So see, this is why I wanted to like play this, because it's going to be a whole lot of interesting stuff like this. Is there anything? And it's like I can move around. Let me turn. I want to turn voiceover just a tick. There we go. Resume. Here we go.
Penniless, and at the end of my supply of the drug which alone makes life endurable, I can bear the torture no longer, and shall cast myself from this garret window into the squalid street below.
Yeah, that's the line from the story, all right.
Do not think from my slavery to morphine that I am a weakling or a degenerate. When you have read these hastily scrawled pages, you may guess, though never fully realize, why it is that I must have forgetfulness or death.
Ooh. I love this stuff. Aha, other sign. Morphine entered into use in the 19th century and was routinely administered to treat severe pain during the American Civil War and World War I. I mean, it lasted all that. Alright. Sold without restriction until 1914. God damn. Morphine became more popular after the invention of the hypodermic syringe around 1854. Frederick I can pronounce. Saturner? Something like that. Who first isolated the substance, originally named it morphium. After Morpheus, the Greek god associated with dreams. That's cool. At the time when Dagon was published, morphine abuse, known as soldier's disease, already posed a big problem in the United States. See, I love this stuff. This is cool.
It was in one of the most open and least frequented parts of the broad Pacific that the packet of which I was supercargo fell a victim to the German sea raider.
I can't even move.
The Great War was then at its very beginning, and the ocean forces of the Hun had not completely sunk to their later degradation. So that our vessel was made a legitimate prize, whilst we of her crew were treated with all the fairness and consideration due us as naval prisoners.
Earl Brent, I'm from Russia, so sorry if I don't speak correctly or misunderstand you. Not a worry at all. I know you started a game with a lot of text killing. Luckily, it speaks all of it very slowly and very casually. I studied a little bit of Russian. That was a long ass time ago. That was a long time ago, and I do not remember like any of it. Oh, damn it all! I forgot to. Bam. I studied a little bit of Russian. Very, very little. I didn't make it very far, though Russian is an absolutely beautiful language in my opinion. It's one of my absolute favorites. I think it's a beautiful language. So, not a worry. Alright, let's see. Is there any... Oh, look at this. Hey, bam. The Huns. The Huns were Central Asian nomads who established a dominion in Europe and invaded the Roman Empire in the 5th century AD. They were known as brutal, deadly warriors and masters of quick raids who also developed powerful composite bows, lassos, and early siege weapons. Yep, that's all true. During World War I, the British used the word Hun as a synonym for Germans in order to emphasize their brutality. However, the term originated when the German Emperor Wilhelm II gave a speech to his troops on the 27th of July 1900 before they embarked to China. Should you encounter the enemy, he will be defeated. No quarter will be given. Prisoners will not be taken. Whoever falls into your hands is forfeited. Just as 1,000 years ago, the Huns, under their king, Attila, made a name for themselves, one that even today makes them seem mighty in history and legend, may the name German be affirmed by you in such a way in China that no Chinese will ever again dare to look cross-eyed at a German. Wow. The refusal to take prisoners was a clear breach of the laws and customs of war adopted during the first Hague Convention of 1899. Cool.
So liberal, indeed, was the discipline of our captors, that 5 days after we were taken, I managed to escape alone, in a small boat, with water and provisions for a good length of time.
I see provisions. Is there a mystery anywhere? Anywhere a mystery? No mystery.
When I finally found myself adrift and free, I had but little idea of my surroundings. Never a competent navigator, I could only guess vaguely by the sun and stars that I was somewhat south of the equator. Of the longitude, I knew nothing, and no island or coastline was in sight.
Well, there's got to be something here, right? There's got to be something to click on. The moon. Anything extra? Anything extra? Nothing extra. What is this game about? A horror? Okay. So this game is almost like an interactive audiobook on a short story written by a man named H.P. Lovecraft, who, this is where my notes come into place. I pulled up a whole bunch of my old lecture notes here to actually talk about it. He was mostly popular during, his first work was published in 1919, and he was active until about 1935 is when he was writing. He died in 1937, so he didn't, kick it for very long in this world. But this is based off of one of his short stories. H.P. Lovecraft is known as an inspiration for almost any major horror person in the modern day. John Carpenter, Stephen King, Guillermo del Toro, all of whom have attributed some sort of fascination with H.P. Lovecraft's stories as an inspiration for their work. And Dagon was one of his earliest publications. It was originally published in, let me remember this right, it was some magazine, and I'm not going to remember off the top of my head. But it was later published in Weird Tales, which was a horror magazine, like a speculative fiction magazine around the United States at the time. What was the old one? What was the first one? Vagrant. The Vagrant. It was also a magazine publication. So he was writing during this, really, really weird time, and he was coming out with all this he was birthing cosmic horror as it is. Like, cosmic horror wasn't really a thing up until about H.P. Lovecraft, where a lot of his influences, a lot of what he was writing about was stuff that can't be explained to, a competent mental state. A whole lot of his themes were, madness, the infinitesimal, minimalization of mankind, how small we are in the universe, stuff like this. And okay, I'm gonna talk about one thing about H.P. Lovecraft right now, and we're just gonna get it out of the way. The modern, lens that people have looked at him in is they've really, really looked at his racist implications. The man was profoundly racist. And that was just it. I mean, but we can talk a little bit about, like, I don't want to say justification, but the reasons behind it. I wouldn't call it justification, because I don't think there is justification for it. But the reasons behind a lot of it comes from the fact that he came from a very well-to-do family who eventually, he lost everything. The man died penniless. He was broke. In fact, none of his stories or works were even popular at the time that he was alive. All of his fame came after he was dead. What's the word? Profusely? I just butchered that word, so we're just going to go with after his death. All of his fame came after that, and that was all due to, in part, by one of his publisher friends. And so anyway, he was coming from a very well-to-do family. And then during about, like, his early 20s, somewhere around there, like mid-20s, he lost pretty much everything and was living penny to penny. He was living, like, he moved to Red Hook, which was a ghetto area in close to, like, New York, kind of like that northeastern United States area. So he was living in a ghetto with all of these other minorities, and he was so far gone from what he grew up knowing that he ended up just hating on everybody. He hated any kind of minority. He hated Irish people, he hated Jewish people, he hated black people, and he wrote about them. And a lot of his stories, especially the horror at Red Hook, which is one of his other stories, really kind of expands on this idea. But there's something really, really, really fascinating. If people actually read his work, he has almost a far and away fascination with these minorities at the same time, almost to the point where he's like showing almost jealousy at them. There are several instances of this in some of his works, because he was also very, very poor health throughout pretty much most of his life. He died at the age of 46 from, health problems. He didn't die old. He died young, as far as things go. But he writes in a time when there was also this idea that, again, this is like 1920s into 1930s. Racism against any minority was kind of like, it was everywhere. It was rampant. So, to address the elephant in the room, yes, he was, but do not let that diminish the brilliance of what he's done, the brilliance of what he's actually written, because I am of the opinion that we need to separate the artist from the art, to some extent. Like, we need to accept the fact that, hey, he wrote something that is obviously very, very influential to people. It's very important to people. That's cool. There it is. So we're going to address that elephant in the room really, really fast. So, all right, let's go back to getting into some of this. That's enough of my lecturing for the time being.
The weather kept fair, and for uncounted days I drifted aimlessly beneath the scorching sun, waiting either for some passing ship or to be cast on the shores of some habitable land.
I remember the one story about the lights in the well. That was The Color Out of Space? Yeah, I believe that's The Color Out of Space. That was a good one. That one was fabulous, actually. They made it a movie. And, okay, so I know a whole lot of, like, adaptations from books to movies are terrible. Color Out of Space was actually not bad. It's a modern take on it. They didn't, do it in the whole time period or anything, but they kept pretty true to what the whole like color thing is. They took some liberties, but really, really good. And you want to know why it was good? Because for one, they got Nicolas Cage to play one of the leading roles, and there were parts of it where he was just absolutely bonkers, and I was like, oh, it's just Nicolas Cage being crazy. Got it. And it worked so well. Chris talks to the chat rather than playing part 197. I'll have you know, yes.
But neither ship nor land appeared, and I began to despair in my solitude upon the heaving vastness of unbroken blue. The change happened whilst I slept.
Oh, you were having fun. I don't mean to push you. No worries.
Its details I shall never know. For my slumber, though troubled and dream-infested, was continuous. When at last I awoke, it was to discover myself half sucked into a slimy expanse of hellish black mire, which extended about me in monotonous undulations as far as I could see.
Yeah, that's actually taken straight from the book. Or from the story. That's a direct line.
And in which my boat lay grounded some distance away. Though one might well imagine that my first sensation would be of wonder at so prodigious and unexpected a transformation of scenery, I was in reality more horrified than astonished. For there was in the air, and in the rotting soil, a sinister quality which chilled me to the very core. The region was putrid with the carcasses of decaying fish, and of other, less describable things which I saw protruding from the nasty mud of the unending plain. Perhaps I should not hope to convey in mere words the unutterable hideousness that can dwell in absolute silence and barren immensity. There was nothing within hearing, and nothing in sight, save a vast reach of black slime. Yet the very completeness of the stillness and the homogeneity of the landscape oppressed me with a nauseating fear. The sun was blazing down from a sky which seemed to me almost black in its cloudless cruelty, as though reflecting the inky marsh beneath my feet.
The Origins of Dagon. Dagon seems to be inspired by Fishhead, a short novel by Irvin S. Cobb, about unnatural affinities between a hybrid idiot and the strange fish of an isolated lake. Supernatural horror in literature, H.P. Lovecraft. Got it. Lovecraft's dream about a strange island emerging from the ocean and him crawling in the ooze that covered its surface. I dreamed that whole hideous crawl and can yet feel the ooze sucking me down. In Defense of Dagon, H.P. Lovecraft. I've actually read that. I've read that paper. Lovecraft's interest in the topic stemmed from his aversion to fish and sea smells, in his own words. I have hated fish and feared the sea and everything connected with it since I was 2 years old, but I cannot recall what earlier experience gave me such a profound and lasting aversion to the sea and seafood. Dweller in Darkness, Lovecraft, 1927, Dawn of Wandering. I love that they cite these too. This is fabulous. I wonder how many we're going to get from his letters. So I want to talk a little bit about his letters again. Or I'm going to sidetrack a thing again for a little bit. H.P. Lovecraft was also one of the world's most prolific letter writers. This man wrote, I'm not even going to remember how big this is. How many, he wrote thousands and thousands and thousands of letters. It was insanity. Oh, they published more? Oh, damn it. I'm going to have to buy those books. I have some of them. There's one, okay. There are 2 books And I'm not even, like, large books that are just letters between him and one other person. And it's insane. Let me pull it. It's not. There we go. In his lifetime, he wrote very nearly 100,000 letters between different correspondents. Estimated down to somewhere around like about 87 to 90,000. But either way, it's still insane.
As I crawled into the stranded boat, I realized that only one theory could explain my position. Through some unprecedented volcanic upheaval, a portion of the ocean floor must have been thrown to the surface, exposing regions for which innumerable millions of years had lain hidden under unfathomable watery depths. So great was the extent of the new land which had risen beneath me that I could not detect the faintest noise of the surging ocean, straining my ears as I might. Nor were there any seafowl to prey upon the dead things.
There's got to be a secret around here somewhere, right? No secret? Okay.
For several hours I sat thinking or brooding in the boat, which lay upon its side and afforded a slight shade as the sun moved across the heavens. As the day progressed, the ground lost some of its stickiness and seemed likely to dry sufficiently for traveling purposes in a short time. That night I slept but little, and the next day I made for myself a pack containing food and water, preparatory to an overland journey in search of the vanished sea and possible rescue.
Alright, some of these, like, tentacles are freaking me out. That shadow actually kind of gave me a bit of a freak.
On the third morning, I found the soil dry enough to walk upon with ease. The odor of the fish was maddening, but I was too much concerned with graver things to mind so slight an evil, and set out boldly for an unknown goal. All day I forged steadily westward, guided by a faraway hummock which rose higher than any other elevation on the rolling desert.
The hell is that thing? That's a cool interpretation.
That night, I encamped, and on the following day still travelled toward the hummock, though that object seemed scarcely nearer than when I had first espied it.
Horrors of the Ocean. The creator of Cthulhu, of the Cthulhu mythos and the fictional underwater city of Relay, was convinced that life could not exist at the bottom of the ocean because the water pressure would make it uninhabitable. This is true. Today we know that the darkest depths of the ocean are home to many peculiar organisms. The deepest dwelling fish we have discovered so far, the Mariana snailfish, can live about 8,000 meters, more than 26,000 feet, below the ocean surface in never-ending darkness and at hellishly crushing pressures, hundreds of times stronger than those found at sea level. Upon glancing at the modern photos of deep-sea creatures, such as the anglerfish, the fangtooth, or the viperfish, and their truly Lovecraftian characteristics, it's hard not to find some irony in this. Not wrong, game. Not wrong.
By the fourth evening, I attained the base of the mound, which turned out to be much higher than it had appeared from a distance.
Not sure I mentioned this, but I'm not a fan of horror because I'm a giant wimp. Granted, I love the details in horror, so I put up with it. Lovecraft might be up your alley because he doesn't explicitly do anything. Like, what he writes is supposed to be mostly focused on the madness and the ability to, like, talk about stuff that the mind can't comprehend. So it's a whole lot less modern horror and a lot more psychological.
An intervening
But it's still
valley
good.
setting it out in sharper relief from the general surface. Too weary to ascend, I slept in the shadow of the hill. I know not why my dreams were so wild that night, but ere the waning and fantastically gibbous moon had risen far above the eastern plain, I was awake in a cold perspiration, determined to sleep no more. Such visions as I had experienced were too much for me to endure again, and in the glow of the moon I saw how unwise I had been to travel by day. Without the glare of the parching sun, my journey would have cost me less energy. Indeed, I now felt quite able to perform the ascent which had deterred me at sunset. Picking up my pack, I started for the crest of the eminence. I have said that the unbroken monotony of the rolling plain was a source of vague horror to me. But I think my horror was greater when I gained the summit of the mound and looked down the other side into an immeasurable pit or canyon.
For instance, so, lady, going back to that point, everything that has been read here is pretty much word for word straight out of the story. There's some stuff, omitted because he's a very verbose and very lengthy writer. But yeah, this is all straight from the story.
Whose black recesses the moon had not yet soared high enough to illumine. I felt myself on the edge of the world, peering over the rim into a fathomless chaos of eternal night. Through my terror ran curious reminiscences of Paradise Lost, and of Satan's hideous climb through the unfashioned realms of darkness. As the moon climbed higher in the sky, I began to see that the slopes of the valley were not quite so perpendicular as I had imagined.
Oh, and another thing about Lovecraft, so this is all from the writing. Just listen to that beautiful language, that beautiful, sentence structure. It's so good. Secrets? No.
Ledges and outcroppings of rock afforded fairly easy footholds for a descent, whilst after a drop of only a few hundred feet, the declivity became very gradual. Urged on by an impulse which I cannot definitely analyze, I scrambled with difficulty down the rocks and stood on the gentler slope beneath, gazing into the Stygian deeps, where no light had yet penetrated. All at once, my attention was captured by a vast and singular object on the opposite slope, which rose steeply about 100 yards ahead of me. An object that gleamed whitely in the newly bestowed rays of the ascending moon.
Well, I'm looking for secrets.
That it was merely a gigantic piece of stone, I soon assured myself.
In the case of, as an example, the Halloween movies, it's the makeup, costumes, and setting/set pieces I pay more attention to, more than the story sometimes. Lovecraft might be right up your alley, because it's all about the minutia. All of his stories, it's all about that. It's all about the behind the stuff.
But I was conscious of a distinct impression that its contour and position were not altogether the work of nature. A closer scrutiny filled me with sensations I cannot express. For despite its enormous magnitude and its position in an abyss which had yawned at the bottom of the sea since the world was young, I perceived beyond a doubt that the strange object was a well-shaped monolith, whose massive bulk had known the workmanship and perhaps the worship of living and thinking creatures. Dazed and frightened, yet not without a certain thrill of the scientist's or archaeologist's delight, I examined my surroundings more closely. The moon, now near the zenith, shone weirdly and vividly above the towering steeps that hemmed in the chasm, and revealed the fact that a far-flung body of water flowed at the bottom, winding out of sight in both directions and almost lapping my feet as I stood on the slope. Across the chasm, the wavelets washed the base of the Cyclopean monolith, on whose surface I could now trace both inscriptions and crude sculptures. The writing was in a system of hieroglyphics unknown to me and unlike anything I'd ever seen in books, consisting for the most part of conventionalized aquatic symbols such as fishes, eels, octopi, crustaceans, mollusks, whales, and the like. Several characters obviously represented marine things which are unknown to the modern world, but whose decomposing forms I had observed on the ocean-risen plain. It was the pictorial carving, however, that did most to hold me spellbound.
Storytelling methods. Yes, let's get into this. Dagon contains many themes and storytelling methods that Lovecraft developed in his later works, such as telling the story through carvings at the Mountains of Madness, the Nameless City, yep, both of those. Journals and characters' notes, yep. Shadow Out of Time, the Haunter of the Dark, both very, very big on that. Islands emerging from the ocean, that was called Cthulhu, yep. Or fictional beings and deities based on real events and mythologies. Mygo and the, Whisper in Darkness, It's also considered the origin of the popular Cthulhu mythos. Some of Lovecraft's other stories also conclude in a manner similar to Dagon, but let's skip the details in order not to spoil the ending. Yep, do not spoil.
Plainly visible across the intervening water on account of their enormous size were an array of bas-reliefs whose subjects would have excited the envy of a Doré. I think that these things were supposed to depict men, at least a certain sort of men, though the creatures were shown disporting like fishes in the waters of some marine grotto, or paying homage at some monolithic shrine which appeared to be under the waves as well. Of their faces and forms I dare not speak in detail, for the mere remembrance makes me grow faint. Grotesque beyond the imagination of a Poe or a Bulwer. They were damnably human in general outline, despite webbed hands and feet, shockingly wide and flabby lips, glassy, bulging eyes, and other features less pleasant to recall. Curiously enough, they seemed to have been chiseled badly out of proportion with their scenic background, for one of the creatures was shown in the act of killing a whale, represented as but little larger than himself. I remarked, as I say, their grotesqueness and strange size, but in a moment decided that they were merely the imaginary gods of some primitive fishing or seafaring tribe. Some tribe whose last descendant had perished eras before the first ancestor of the Piltdown or Neanderthal man was born. Awestruck at this unexpected glimpse into a past beyond the conception of the most daring anthropologist, I stood musing whilst the moon cast queer reflections on the silent channel before me. Then, suddenly, I saw it. With only a slight churning to mark its rise to the surface, the thing slid into view above the dark waters. Vast, Polyphemus-like and loathsome, it darted like a stupendous monster of nightmares to the monolith, about which it flung its gigantic scaly arms, the while it bowed its hideous head and gave vent to certain measured sounds. I think I went mad then. Of my frantic ascent of the slope and cliff, and of my delirious journey back to the stranded boat, I remember little. I believe I sang a great deal, and laughed oddly when I was unable to sing. I have indistinct recollections of a great storm sometime after I reached the boat. At any rate, I know that I heard pearls of thunder and other tones which nature utters only in her wildest moods. When I came out of the shadows, I was in a San Francisco hospital. Brought thither by the captain of the American ship which had picked up my boat in mid-ocean. In my delirium, I had said much, but found that my words had been given scant attention. Of any land upheaval in the Pacific, my rescuers knew nothing. Nor did I deem it necessary to insist upon a thing which I knew they could not believe.
The journalist, yep. Lovecraft was a prominent figure in the world of amateur journalism. In 1915, he started publishing his own journal called The Conservative, which included political and social commentary, poetry, short stories, and literary criticism written by him and other authors. Howard was a skilled wordsmith, but he also took criticisms to heart, which resulted in his decision to step away from writing poetry and concentrate on weird fiction again. For the first time since his teenage years, Dagon, published in 1917, is one of the short stories written during that period. Is that a correct time? Yeah. Oh, yeah. 1917 was when it was written. That was not when it was published, though. That wasn't when it was published. That was first published in 1919 in that magazine I talked about earlier. That's funny. I might have to... Anyway. In this excerpt from The Conservative, the master of horror fiction explains his attitude towards warfare and the idea of world peace. Why any sane human being can believe in the possibility of universal peace is more than the Conservative can fathom. Should the entire civilized world agree simultaneously to disarm, one or more nations would undoubtedly retain secret armaments and at the proper time take advantage of their more altruistic and less astute contemporaries in a wild career of conquest against unarmed victims. No country is, or ever can be, above warfare, until the basic impulses of the human animal shall have miraculously changed. Yeah? Speaking the truth. Are there more secret? Any more secret?
Once I sought out a celebrated ethnologist and amused him with peculiar questions regarding the ancient Philistine legend of Dagon, the fish god.
Dagon, or Dagon, was the main deity of the Philistines, worshipped throughout the Middle East as the ancient god of fertility and crops. In Hebrew, the word Dagon was a common noun for grain. The rulers of Akkad, Mesopotamia, chose him as the patron saint of their war conquests. He also appeared as the judge of the dead in an Assyrian poem and an underworld prison warden in one of the Babylonian texts. He is often mistakenly taken for a fish god due to the wrong interpretation of his name, as in Hebrew, the word dag means fish. In H.P. Lovecraft's work, Dagon was an underwater deity ruling over the deep ones, a humanoid race with fish traits that resides in the oceans. He is worshipped by a secret cult called the Esoteric Order of Dagon. Yep, all true to the story, all true to the lore. Not seeing any more. Oh, bye, Jesper.
But soon perceiving that he was hopelessly conventional, I did not press my inquiries.
August Derleth and the Cthulhu Mythos. August Derleth was an American writer and anthologist who also befriended Lovecraft and published many of his works through his company Arkham House. Yep, this guy is a big reason why Lovecraft gained a whole bunch of popularity after his death. I'll talk about that in a minute. Although he greatly contributed to the popularization of the author's work after his death, he is surrounded by numerous controversies. Well, goddammit, it covered it for me. The thing I just said was literally the next line. One of his most questionable decisions involved introducing the good versus evil doctrine, Derleth as a devout Catholic, to the Cthulhu mythos, which contrasted with Lovecraft's view of the world and his approach to cosmic horror. As a result, the author's works are often misunderstood and misrepresented in today's culture. See? That's another thing I was talking about earlier. There's a whole lot of misunderstanding and misrepresentation of what he was actually writing and what he believed at the time. Anyway, it is also worth noting that Lovecraft was never really interested in creating a mythology, and the term Cthulhu mythos was coined by Derleth after the author left the mortal plane. Yep, the mythos wasn't actually called that until after his death. And so August Derleth, however we really want to pronounce his name, here's how he got Lovecraft really, really popular. Because Lovecraft was not popular in the Americas. In America, he was not well read. And so, what August did is he took all those publications and he took them overseas into Europe and started selling them like mad. Like, he would print copies and start selling them there. This was World War I, after World War I era, where, and hold on, let me get my dates right. Let me get my dates absolutely right so I don't screw anything up. Yeah, so World War II happens 2 years after Lovecraft died. Okay, 2 years. Because Lovecraft died in 1937, 1939 is World War II. And after Lovecraft's death, during the in-between of World War I and World War II, and then during World War II, he became very well read over in Europe. Because there was all of this, big upheaval of new stuff, new outlooks on all sorts of things, especially when it comes to things like warfare, to this idea of how small humanity really is, that it struck a chord in Europe at the time. And it wasn't until after his success, I think it was France specifically, that he was really popular and well read at the time. He brought the publications back to America and started, printing here in America again, and he became really, really well read again. This is, I believe, after World War II, during World War II, he became really well read in the Americas. Well, if that was the secret, then where's my... Oh, there it is. Is there any more secret? More secret? Like, you didn't bring me over here. You brought me over here for something. Come on, tell me you brought me here for something. No? Okay. I didn't see anything.
It is at night, especially when the moon is gibbous and waning, that I see the thing. I tried morphine, but the drug has given only transient surcease and has drawn me into its clutches as a hopeless slave. So now I am to end it all, having written a full account for the information or the contemptuous amusement of my fellow men.
Lovecraft on tobacco and alcohol. Lovecraft hated tobacco. Very true. Even though he used to smoke when he was 12 in order to look and feel like an adult. In his correspondence with friend Reinhard Kleiner, I can't word. He claims that he quit as soon as he started wearing long pants. He also had a very strong opinion about alcohol, as evidenced by his letter with Zelia Brown in 1928. As for the matter of drinking, I have never tasted intoxicating liquor and never intend to, having a strong aesthetic disgust at anything which blunts or coarsens the delicate natural equipoise of the evolved human intellect and imagination. So elegantly written, goddamn. Drinking excited my personal repugnance, hence I don't drink. Let the herd do what they will. I am rather in favor of prohibition, the prohibition of any one antisocial force as well as any other. The Spirit of Revision, Lovecraft's letters to Zelia Brown, Reed Bishop, H.P. Lovecraft, Sean Brannery, and Andrew Lehman, S.T. Joshi. Oh, we can talk about this. S.T. Joshi is the modern, leading academic on Lovecraft studies. The man he is the one who's, collected all of his letters. He has published and reprinted all of his letters so that other people can read them and everything, and he is the guy who, basically, if there is an expert on Lovecraft, that's the guy. He's the expert.
Often, I ask myself if it could not all have been a pure phantasm. A mere freak of fever as I lay sun-stricken and raving in the open boat after my escape from the German man of war. This I ask myself, but ever does there come before me a hideously vivid vision in reply. I cannot think of the deep sea without shuddering at the nameless things that may at this very moment be crawling and floundering on its slimy bed, worshipping their ancient stone idols and carving their own detestable likenesses on submarine obelisks of water-soaked granite. I dream of a day when they may rise above the billows to drag down into their reeking talons the remnants of puny, war-exhausted mankind. Of a day when the land shall sink and the dark ocean shall ascend amidst universal pandemonium. The end is near. I hear a noise at the door, as of some immense slippery body lumbering against it.
No, there's got to be a secret here. Come on. Give me secrets. Give me secrets.
It shall not find me. God, that hand! The window! The window!
Thank you for playing. We hope you enjoyed immersing yourself in our little pool of cosmic horror. We would appreciate if you took a moment to rate Dagon and check out our other games and DLCs. Whew. Exit. I love this logo too. This is so good. Did I collect? Wow, I missed so many. How did I miss so many? Is it one of those situations where you kind of got to like go back on it to like get all of it? I wonder if that's the case. Funny enough, that ended perfectly on our time slot. Spooky but not too spooky. Time to replay to look again. I'm kind of wanting to do that. Yeah.
I hear a noise at the door.
How fast can I like? Oh, it's just a.
Find me.
It's just a. It's this part again. Oh man. I just got back. Rip.
God, that hand.
Well, you can see the ending again.
The window.
So don't hit continue again. Got it. I wonder... Because I looked. Y'all watched how much I looked around for secrets at like every screen.
I am writing this under an appreciable mental strain.
Oh, I have to like, it's like hidden. That's cool. Hold on, look at this. As Lovecraft letters. As to letters, my case is peculiar. I write such things exactly as easily and as rapidly as I would utter the same topics in conversation. Indeed, esoterically, expression is with me largely replacing conversation as my condition of nervous prostration becomes more and more acute. I cannot bear to talk much now, and am becoming as silent as the spectator himself. My... Whoa, that's a word. Loquacity? My loquacity extends itself on paper. H.P. Lovecraft to Reinhard Kleiner, 1917. Throughout his life, Lovecraft penned around 100,000 letters. Had I just found the damn secret, it would have... But then again... I got to tell you. I told you all, chat. I told you all this before. So it's only validating me. It's only validating my knowledge and my expertise. To his friends and fans, out of which about 10% survived to this day. Yep, we have a lot of reprintings of publishings of those. But his tendency to endless correspondence was a relatively late growth. In youth, I scarcely did any letter writing. Thanking anybody for a present was so much of an ordeal that I would rather have written a 250-line pastoral or a 20-page treatise on the rings of Saturn. Selected letters. Yep. Lovecraft would often skip meals to afford postage. Collections of his correspondence have been published in various books, and selected letters can be found online. Some readers consider them his most important legacy. There's a lot of great stuff in his letters, actually. I have read the books of his letters between why am I forgetting his name all of a sudden? The guy who Robert E. Howard. There it is. Robert E. Howard is the. I opened a new tab to go search for it real fast, and it clicked. Robert E. Howard was the author of Conan the Barbarian, and was basically the grandfather and the, creator of what we call sword and sorcery fantasy, which is the very gritty style of, fantasy stuff. Oh man, I'm gonna have to really go back and go through all this whole game to find all those little secrets now, aren't I? You know what? We're gonna save and exit, and I'm gonna address that another time. Right now, I'm gonna look and see if we have anybody to raid, because it's that time of night again. I've got everything. Oh, I don't have anybody online really. Well, that's a real shame. Normally we have Plague or Maddie or somebody's online, but nobody's online right now. Oh, Belle's online. We like Phasmophobia, right? Sadly, it's bedtime for me. Have to get my sleep schedule back before I go back to work. Valid. Very valid. Let's see. No, let's not do that. In that case, let's not raid tonight. Let's not do anything. I don't really have anybody on. I don't really want to go searching for anybody. So, we'll just wrap up. Good night, lady. Have a good night. Everybody else, thanks for coming and hanging out and stopping by. Coming and talking to us. While we played... First we played, the potions. Then we played this. So, let's talk about our wrap up. What am I doing tomorrow? More Timberborn tomorrow. Friday, I'm going to try to find another scary game, because I want to play more Spook. I want to play more spooky stuff, because, Spooktober and all that business. So, yeah, we'll just call it a night, and I will see all of you tomorrow. So, thanks for coming and hanging out, everybody. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye.